It's full transparency, FDA. Last week we heard that they've got data that shows that there were 10 children's deaths. Where's the data? Show us, right? They go and use this thing called VERS, the Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, which is totally voluntary. I can go on there and say, I had chicken nuggets just around the time as my COVID shot, and I had an allergic reaction. And they go, oh, okay, oh dear. So I can put that on there, right? In order to do an analysis of that database, which we as analysts try and do, which is very complicated because you need all the case background. Who was that patient? What happened to them? You need to do the work. Fine. I believe that they've done the work. Show us. Where's the transparency there? Here, I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, that they're using the same system. Do you see people, I mean, of course, that's a ridiculous question to ask, falling over and dying in the streets after getting COVID shots all the time? There are issues that happen. A lot of people who take COVID shots these days are the elderly, which by definition have a higher probability of complications, et cetera, in general. So we need to keep an eye on this. I want to see the data, and I want it properly scrutinized. Let us do that.
Yes, Sam. Well, I mean, obviously, I guess this seems like it's in the early stages of investigation. But I mean, walk us through kind of the potential impact of this, right? Potentially, it could affect public health policy, and then potentially that will have some bearing on how companies move forward, especially the vaccine providers, presumably.
Yeah. I mean, so 2 or 3 things can happen. The FDA can say, well, actually, we didn't find the link, because it just says that they're looking at it. Number 2, they say, we found the link, we're going to put a black box warning into COVID vaccines. Fine. That increases people's hesitancy potentially. Or they can go and say, we want to take it off the market. I don't think they'll do that, but let's get there. There are 2 companies that are most exposed to this. Pfizer, of course, is one of the companies that sell the vaccine, but I mean, Pfizer has a lot more going on, right? The ones that are much more leveraged to the vaccines are Moderna and BioNTech. What I find interesting is that Moderna, who is much more leveraged to it because they're selling it themselves, they have a less of a cash cushion than BioNTech has. Let's say they end the year this year with $7 billion in the bank. BioNTech is at $18 billion in the bank. And yet it's the BioNTech share price that gets hit most, and I don't understand why. Moderna is more exposed because that cash cushion is lower. So if your revenue drops, then you're going to have an issue. Of course, they've been very good at cost management. So that's where I think this could end up if it goes really to the wire and they go, right, we're not going to suggest this anymore, which would be, I think, a tragedy for the US.
So, Sam, we've been 10 months into this administration. We've got a U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary, Robert F. Kennedy. We've been X number of months into his leadership. How are pharma companies and biotech companies trying to work with this new administration? Because there's one could argue there's a lot of headbutting there potentially.
Yeah, there are. So I'm looking at the gauge of biotech sector performance, the S&P 500 XBI ETF, and it's up. We've almost doubled, not quite. I mean, we're meaningfully high, right? So it doesn't look like people are that worried about it. But I promise you, if I went on our anonymous drug chat with clients, about 2,000 people on it, and I asked, how worried are you? I tell you, no one's going to say 0. There's always this background of worry, right? Mm-hmm. The thing is, the sector's doing well. Only this week so far, we've had close to $2 billion of money raised from companies with good data that's driven the share prices up. This is between 5 and 6 companies. So the sector's thriving. We need to make sure the FDA is in a place that will have very clear guidelines so that people know what they're dealing with, and not get advice today that in 6 months' time they go, well, whatever we said then, we have a different view now, right? So that is a problem, and there is something to worry about there. Let's hope that 2026 becomes a lot more stable for the FDA with logical, scientific-based decisions.